What is up, and welcome into the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I am your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined as always by my outstanding co-hosts. He is a Chicago Public League legend. He is a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers back in the day. He was all SWAC. He is none other than Coach Brandon Williams, aka Coach Smoke. I didn't mean to say Coach twice there, but that's who you are. And we've got our football expert. He knows everything about the sport, whether it's college, whether it's NFL, whether it's the upcoming draft. No, you don't know that. I think you do. He is Glenn Morgan, aka the GM. Our GM. And gentlemen, it's been a couple weeks since we've been on. We got a lot to discuss today. Obviously, we need to put a bow on the Bears season. The season that was, and what a great game they had in that divisional playoff. Unfortunately, coming down to a loss. We've got the Super Bowl. Teams are set for Santa Clara in 2 weeks. Lots of NFL news to talk about. Coaching searches. Pro Bowl nods, I should say, not a snub, nods. Hall of Fame snubs. Talk about that. But first, before we get to anything, before we start talking football, this past weekend was the Derrick Rose jersey retirement. The number one is in the rafters at the United Center, and Coach Smoke was in the building for that ceremony. Go on and tell us how that experience was on Saturday night.
Man, it was a surreal feel, man. It was it was a feeling that like I've never felt before. It felt like we were going into the Raptors. And when I say we, like Chicago,
Yeah.
like not a player, like the city of Chicago, all the people, it felt like we were going into the Raptors. And that's how the energy felt in the building. Um, like I told y'all beforehand, I tell people I'm gonna talk very highly of this experience, but it's still like the second most e- electric environment I've been in person. And with the first being the All-Star game in Cleveland, 75th anniversary. But this was special. This was special. And, because what Derek means to the Bulls, to Chicago, to Simeon, to so many different elements, and to see all those elements come together in that building, it was special. It was special. And, to hear, how his teammates talk about him, and, Luol Deng's speech is one that resonates with me most because like he told him, he said, your name being up there is our trophy, and we hear so many what ifs
Mm-hmm.
with Derrick Rose and what ifs with that team because of the what ifs that come with Derrick Rose. And to hear Lou like say that, it was like closure to that chapter. You know, like do people still have resentment for how that went down? You get what I'm
Yes, they
saying?
do.
And you get what I'm saying? And for him to say that's our trophy, that showed like that brought everything together for them. And it was like, hey, what happened, but this is a ultimate win in a big way. And it was special to see, man. It was a moment that I'll never forget. Glad I was in the building for it, and extremely happy for Derek. Just one of the most humble human beings I've ever been around, and you hear the celebrities or the NBA players and all them say it, and some people might look at it like, man, they just say that just to save face, but like, no, I've actually been around him a few times and couldn't believe how humble he was,
Oh yeah.
and so that's real. Like I've never heard a story about Derek where I've like, what? I never saw that side of him. Like, no, every story you hear is who he is. And
Yeah.
couldn't happen for a better person. Like I say, this was big for the entire city of Chicago, in my opinion.
When it comes to jersey retirement, I think the one moment, there's a moment or a scene in a movie that always pops in my head is Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac when he gets his jersey retired in Milwaukee and none of his teammates come back. You know,
Yeah.
they couldn't find no teammates. And Bernie Mac is like, man, what happened to, and he brings a real play. What happened to Robin Yount? Paul Marlin and Cecil Cooper. They're like, yeah, they didn't want to come. But we did bring this guy that, played one season with you.
And talk bogus about.
Everybody was there for Derrick, man.
Yes.
I
Yes.
saw clips. Ben Gordon was there.
Bro, man.
Ben
So
Gordon was there. Drew Gooden. Guys I forgot they were on the team. Like Brad Miller
yes.
was in the house.
So Brad Miller was there last year
Okay.
at the homegrown thing last year. So that's
Yeah.
shocking.
Yeah.
The person who wasn't there last year who was there this year was Kurt. And
Okay.
I was so happy to see Kurt, man. And like you said, Ben Gordon, Rip Hamilton,
Yeah.
like it was true. And that's just the people that was on the Bulls. I mean, not necessarily other uh pro guys was there, of course, because they're in season, but like Chicago high school basketball legends.
Yeah.
Sharon Collins was in the building. Will Bynum was in the building. I mean, Tony Allen is NBA. He was in the building.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Jerome Randall from Hills was in the building. It was so many faces. I mean, Kiki Palmer performed, so she was there, of course. Then I saw one of the ladies from the Shy in the building. Like
Yeah.
it was just so many people in there, and I mean, all the people from Simeon. It was crazy, man.
So
It
that
was
that
crazy.
tells you just the love that everybody has for him,
Yes.
and just everything's just so genuine. So yeah, it was good. It was cool. It was cool to see. Um, yeah, that number one's up there forever. So that's outstanding. Now I do have got a question for you. Um, with two questions. First off, when it comes to Chicago basketball lore, is he number one? Is he the number one guy?
Hmm.
Now I'm talking about Mike. I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas. I'm talking about just
So
Benji,
Chicago.
Benji.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You put Ben
that's why I
Wilson
was
in there.
like,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's why I was about to ask when you
Yeah,
say Lord, because Ben is like a folk
yeah, yeah,
hero, like, the ultimate what if,
yeah,
like, I know it's been common going around that Derrick Rose is bigger in Chicago than Michael Jordan. And me being a Simeon alum, me being a lifetime Bulls fan, me being a diehard Derrick Rose fan, I'm here to tell all my wonderful people that is wrong. Uh, that is wrong. And I mean, the thing is, I understand why we say it because our connection to him, but we're not the only people
yeah.
in Chicago. We're not even close to the majority in Chicago. You get what I'm saying? And it's not a bad thing. It's nothing bad about that, man. Jordan is an unworldly figure in the world, like to the world, not just to Chicago, like to the world. Like it's nothing you can compare to that. What Derek is for people like me, for people like us, for people of color from Chicago, from the inner cities, our connectivity to him will make you believe that, but that's not true, man. That's not
Right,
true.
Yeah, there was a lot of people, on social media talking about that, and I was like, I can't roll with that. He's two. I will put him at two.
I mean, I mean,
basketball wise,
just
you're saying.
Basketball, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
just look at how I
Uh,
started this. How I started this. I said this was the
and
second most Did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
but
got
like
it.
I said, like how I started this. Like this was the second most electric atmosphere I've ever been in. And the reason the first one was number one was because that man walked into the building.
Yeah.
And and for me, you talk about fanned out, and I'm sitting up high and I'm fanned out. Now, granted, I mean, but I'm super fanned out about Derrick too. But the connection kind of keeps me from being that much of a fan because I know him.
Right.
You know, I don't know him, but I know him.
But
I've been around him,
you walk the same
walked
halls
the
with him.
halls. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know, now being proud of somebody, well, that's number one.
I
But
was going to say that the thing is, I got to answer to your question. He's the most beloved.
now that's a different one. Yes.
He's the most beloved. I would say he's even more beloved than Michael. Michael's the most revered, and like you
Yes.
said,
That's a good, yeah.
he's in a
Yeah.
different
Mm-hmm.
stratosphere. He's
Yep.
almost in a he's Michael's almost like in a celestial stratosphere. He's like in a
Yes.
what is that movie that he did?
Space Jam.
Yeah, it's like up there. It's like out of space, kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But Derrick Rose and B just said it through his explanation and revelation and telling us, what it was like to be in the United Center tonight, his jersey, just how everybody showed out for him. High school guys who played against him, who grew up in his neighborhood, played against him probably in the streets. You know what I'm saying? At all the different venues in Chicago when you play outdoors, all the way up to people in the professional ranks and the entertainers and everybody in between. He's just the most beloved, and everything everybody said,
Mm-hmm.
how that, the elocution in terms of who he and how he is as a person, that resonated more than even his basketball playing. It was just like him as a person was what they really talked about. I mean,
Right.
he was celebrated as a human being,
Yes.
which was phenomenal. So I would say hands down, he's the most beloved Chicago athlete, probably hands down. And I think number two might be like Walter Payton in terms of most beloved, but because Derrick is Chicago and because he represents Chicago, because like what B said, him going up, his number going up in the raft, it was like all of Chicago went up there with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course, we get wistful when we talk about what could have been, all you add all that in the Ez gave the right word, lore, it just adds to that because with lore comes everything becomes speculation, becomes your realization about some things, becomes the promise of what could have been, becomes magical, becomes rose, all that stuff. And the fact that he is so young and is not somebody who's 75 years old or 80 years old at the tail end of their career. This guy's in his 30s, you know what I'm saying? So to be able to still enjoy the person that he is, and the fact that he is so visible, he does give back to the community, all those things, I say he's the most beloved. And the reason why I got to that, because when you were talking before, I'm thinking like Isaiah is not getting his due, and I know I'm a lot older, but then I realized I was like, Isaiah, he's a Piston. That's going to come up
Mm-hmm.
first, and then there's other things about
But no, you
Isaiah
know
that
what?
seems. No, hear
I
me out.
think.
Hear me out. Let me hear
Oh,
me out.
go,
Let me
go
just
ahead, go ahead, go
finish.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Is that for some people they hold that against them? You know what I'm saying? It's a good contingent that holds against. And then the other things that Isaiah might have done. Some people blame him for the downfall of the what was it this
CBA.
CBA? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And some other stuff. And sometimes him and Mike's fall out. And him and Pippen, how they don't can all that stuff. He's not beloved. I think to some degree he's not as respected as I think he's the most disrespected Chicago player that we have, or misrespect. I won't say disrespected, but misrespected. And I know that's not a real word, but what I'm saying is that he should be respected more, and the
but
respect is kind of there, but it's not.
but who
It's so
he is speaks to so much Bulls triumph,
yeah,
Bulls trauma and triumph at the
yeah,
same time.
right.
So it's
It's
like our trauma was fueled. I mean, our triumph was fueled by our trauma of him. You get what I'm
right,
saying? So like,
right,
so we in our triumph, it was about beating him and making
right,
him look like shit in the
right.
process of
You
doing it.
had to.
So how could we but love him. It's like it's a healthy hatred.
I think Chicago. I
Right.
think Chicago gives him
We
love.
give him
though.
we give him his respect.
But
I
not to
don't
the
think
degree
we
that
give
he
him his
right.
love. I don't
Now,
think we
you
mind you,
give
go.
him his love.
the bad boy thing. It is what it
But
is, and
Dennis gets
that definitely downgrades him a little bit. And I always wonder, had they not walked off the court, had he not led the walk off the court after Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals in '91, will we see him differently?
That
I
and
mean,
going to the Olympics, probably.
Yeah,
That and going to being on that dream team cures a lot of perceptive ills.
mhm.
Not being on that dream team is a big question because it's like, how is he not? Which then leads to the Michael Jordan thing, which then leads to the Bulls, Pistons, all that other jazz. And with Isaiah, it's almost like you got three Isaiahs. You got high school, St. Joe's Isaiah at a time where black athletes were still considered just athletes, not intelligent, so on and so forth. To go to Indiana, which, it's the Hoosiers. It's not the most brother-friendly, venue to go, and then win under Bob Knight to win and to be the number 2 pick overall behind another Chicago and the Mark Aguirre. And then you get your second iteration of Isaiah where it's like, hey, the Bulls suck, but hey, one of ours, they're doing better. They got a chance to beat the Celtics. Like, if it wasn't the Celtics, it was the Sixers going from the Eastern Conference facing the Lakers or the Houston Rockets or Trailblazers. Those are seemed like those are the only teams that was going to the finals back then. And so you pull him for Isaiah because that's the best we can do in Chicago. To all of a sudden we get Michael, and then that starts changing. Now you got the third iteration of Isaiah. But here's the thing: what happens last is usually what people are stuck with.
yeah.
And then you add in the fact that Isaiah is a different generation. That's more like, my generation, more or less. You know what I'm saying? So
And to this day, he's still talking shit.
sometimes he still talk, but
He's mad
but
though.
I
He
mean,
has,
hey,
he has a right to be.
I mean, he does. I'm
Mike
not gonna.
Mike called him an asshole on national television.
I mean,
Yeah.
after Mike kind of asked him to be in this thing, like, oh, okay, I guess we're in this. I guess we're healing. I guess we're not healing. I guess we still throwing daggers.
but to be fair, even in that, Mike spoke about the moment. He said, "I thought he was an asshole." He didn't say, "I think Isaiah's."
No, I think he said he's an asshole.
No, I've watched it many a time. He
I
said,
gotta look back on that.
if we go back and watch it, and if I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit, but I strongly stand behind the fact that he spoke about the moment, and he said, "I felt he was an asshole." Now,
No, people ain't gonna think
now,
that.
no. I get that. I get that.
Assholes, all they remember.
I get that. I understand that totally. But like, yeah, I mean,
But selfishly, I wish they could bury the hatchet and get past this before it's too
I ain't
late.
gonna lie to you. I don't.
You
I want it to
want
be.
to keep it old, huh?
Yeah, man, it's good. It's good.
Oh, you see, speaking of the 75th anniversary, have you ever heard Dwayne Wade talk about
Yes.
that and how like these dudes still got beef?
Still got beef, and he egged it on too.
Oh man,
he egged it on, and that just lets you know, man, that stuff is timeless.
yes sir. Last thing before we get off this, Derrick Rose Hall of Fame is that the next stop here?
I think
I don't.
eventually.
I think he gets. I think he gets in because it's a sentimental thing, and I don't know if that's necessarily wrong. But if I'm Stephon Marbury, if I'm some other folks who's like, dude, like, I got more stats than this dude, and I play a lot longer. Like, he ain't
Steph didn't win MVP though.
True, but Steph played a lot longer. Steph, did some other things. So, and again, I was listening to Gilbert Arenas talk about it. A lot of times, we say that the MVP, but it's like most people when they win MVP, they've been in the league for a while. So there's a body of work that you can look at. With Derrick, he got it at such a young, was his third year in the league?
Year 3, yeah.
Yeah, year 3. He's 19, 20 when he got it. It's like, it's promise unfulfilled. if you're Brandon Roy, you're like, well, what the hell? My knees went, and I was doing really good. It's the Gale Sayers argument. Should Gale Sayers be in the Hall of Fame? It's like when you're, I can see both ways, and as a Chicagoan, ironically, I'm talking about both Chicago players. Sometimes when you're a shooting star, man, you're just a shooting star, and it may be short lived, but the brilliance can't be questioned. I don't think, based on,
He don't have
I
a
don't
Hall
know
of
what
Fame
all,
resume to you. It's
yeah,
fine to say. It's fine to
yeah,
say.
I'm trying to find the words. Right. I don't think he has a Hall of Fame resume, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Got
I
the
think the
MVP though.
Well, here's the thing with the Hall of Fame, the Basketball Hall of Fame, because it's not the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. It's just the Basketball Hall
It's
of
the
Fame.
your full body of work.
Right. And so, it's like the requirements getting a Basketball Hall of Fame isn't as stringent as baseball, not by any measure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not quite as tough as football to me, but it doesn't make it any less important because, again, you want to talk about his college career, although it's just one season, he got to the championship game, So yeah, I get it. I get the sentimentality behind it, but like B said, I don't think the resume resonates enough for me. But if he doesn't make it, I get it. If he does make it, I get it. I think what was more
So,
important was that his jersey went up in the Chicago Raptors. I think that was more important.
so I think he'll eventually get in. I think I do agree his NBA resume doesn't appear to be enough. I think his overall resume, meaning his impact on basketball, even as young as the high school level, through his NBA career, with basketball being something that takes into account of all of it, the totality, I think he could get in. I saw I think he should get in. Not could get in. I think he should. Um, and with him being an MVP, I mean, he would be the only MVP to
Yeah.
not be
Not
in
in,
the
yeah.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, and like you said, Jim, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not as what do you call it? Coveted like the MLB Hall of Fame, where everything is you own this,
They're
you
not
own
as
that.
stringent. They're not
They're
as
not as
stringent.
stringent,
Yeah.
you
Not
know.
as pretentious, not as
Yeah,
pretentious. I'm picking on your sports,
Yeah.
not as pretentious as
Hey,
baseball players.
listen, look. Hey, I hate the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. Look, forget them. But I saw something the other day, and it like it stuck with me, and it was leading up to the ceremony, and a guy said that Derrick Rose is the most accomplished what if story of all time. And I sat back and thought about that, and I'm like, damn. Not many can say they got a rookie of the year. Not many can say they got an MVP. And he did that in what, his first 3 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's the Gale Sayers story. I mean, Gale had a little more years playing, but Gale, I mean, Gale Sayers was, I mean, think what you like, but I don't know if there's ever been as talented a running back as Gale Sayers.
No.
There's some really talented running backs, but
Man.
Gale Sayers was different, bro. He would even today, even by today's standards, he different, dude. He different.
And one last thing, and I'm this. Hey, viewers, take it as a shot if you want. I had this conversation with somebody because I saw it on social media about Carmelo Anthony, how as far as in the NBA, he doesn't truly have a legacy. And I found that interesting because I'm like, damn, he wore 15 in Denver.
And they gave it away.
That shit is dead. Your number ain't going up there. Joker is number 15 for Denver.
The Cubs retired Greg Maddux and Fergie Jenkins at the same time.
Okay, well they may do that, but it's like it's like it's like he they gave his number away. Shit, they gave his rookie of the year away. If you ask me, like to LeBron,
LeBron got it. Yeah.
Melo should have got it then.
Mel should have got it. Yeah,
Like
I think you're right.
it's like man, and then I'm like compare that to Derrick, who has a rookie of the year, who has an MVP, whose number will be who at the time it wasn't there yet, but I'm like, whose number will be in the rafters? Like his legacy is cemented, and it's some of our most favorite players, most well-known players who are in the Hall of Fame don't have that legacy impact that Derrick had. And it's crazy.
All right, let's move on to the Bears. I know we're a week and some change late here. But,
takes that long to get over it, man.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Sorry, life got in the way. We couldn't record, but season is over after a 20-17 loss in overtime to the Rams. A hell of a game. Probably one of the more memorable games of my lifetime. I'll never forget that. The throw, fourth and 4. I think we'll always remember that. We're gonna remember, unfortunately, the pick in overtime, and and obviously that led to the game-winning field goal for the Rams. But first off, the throw. It was like he was playing Tecmo Bowl out there.
I saw somebody put a meme up too.
Have you seen the one where they actually showed the Tecmo Bowl play?
Yeah. They're like, I remember this play, and they showed a Tecmo thing.
All right, we thought the throw to Rome Odunze against Green Bay in the wild card round was like the greatest throw that we'd ever seen.
You remember what I said back then?
Chicago was that?
I said until the next one. Now I didn't think the next one was going to be the following week.
Oh my God!
Look, so I know you got some people that's like, man, that was just a heave, and I can see people giving the throw to Odunze, saying that one was better, or I can understand it because he actually tried to do both of the motherfuckers.
Yeah,
so the second one is no way no one can convince me though that wasn't probably the greatest throw I've ever seen. The man is going back. Imagine going back and you throw a ball 40 yards flat-footed on your heels.
On the back of it.
Momentum going backwards.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed that ball got in the end zone.
I'm impressed he didn't overthrow it.
He got it on the money.
Yeah. I mean,
with guys in his face.
He threw that to the back corner of the end zone. The only reason why that pass to me was believable was because of the pass he made to Odunze the week before. I'm like, no, when you keep doing it like that, it ain't on accident, bro.
No.
But I think he just threw that motherfucker though. I do.
I would have if I didn't see the Odunze one the week before. I'd have been like,
but he ain't just throw the Odunze one. He saw that. He didn't see nothing. He was running for his life and just turned and said, "I gotta let it go."
You don't think he saw Komet back there?
He did.
No, he couldn't have.
Dude,
he couldn't have. He couldn't have.
To me, you throw that in the middle of the end zone and hope for the best. That was to the back corner where the only player that was in the end zone was at. Man. That's why I believe it was on purpose. If I hadn't seen the Odunze one, I would be with you. But I'm like, no, dude, he's done this too many times.
Hey, if he physically saw Cole in that back and was able to do that,
Yes.
This dude is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time. That was crazy. He was spinning in circles. It's no way he saw that. He was spinning in circles and turned on his heels and just let it go. He had no time to see who was down there.
Well, we'll see.
It
got there. It got there.
It was that was you talk about now. Cardiac Bears is what they've been called. But that moment there, you talk about heart attack because it's 4th and 4. We're at the what we're at the 14?
14.
Or
yeah.
we were at the 14,
14,
right?
4th and 4. Yep.
And you just see him going back like that. It's like, oh fuck, man. What is going on here? And then he throw the ball up. Now I will say this: when he threw that ball up, the whole house got quiet, like. And goddamn, Cole right there to catch it.
See, this is why I'm saying he threw that on purpose. Now I'm not saying he knew that it was Cole specifically. I think he just saw the jersey.
He just saw a blue jersey.
Right. But the fact that think about how easy the catch was. Cole didn't have to jump, he didn't have to scrap, he didn't have to dive for it. It was like right in his it was that easy a catch. It was like I'm like, dude, like how it, and you look at McVay's face was like, the fuck? I mean, dude, it was a classic WTF moment, dude. It was insane, man. That look, I've had my over the past couple of years, 2-3 years with Caleb, like, dude, like you got to work on your accuracy. Like some of the same issues they talk about the other guy. You know, you run around too much. You do the hero ball. The whole generational thing. I'm like, I'm not buying it. I'm gonna say this, man. He's different.
Yeah.
He's a little different. And it's the clutch stuff. And again, if this whole season hadn't been other previous games where he's pulling shit out his ass, even the pass he threw against Green Bay when Ja'Day Walker, I'm like, oh man, he sailed, he overthrew. No, it was right there. And that was under pressure too.
Yeah.
Like the more pressure it is, the more easier it looks in terms of the person who has to catch the ball. Like Adulza had to jump for it a little bit, but it wasn't like he was in a bad spot. He didn't hang him out to dry. He wasn't diving on the ground. The touchdown pass he threw to DJ to win the game, a perfect pass. That wasn't a commit. It's the easiest. I don't know how you pulled that shit out your ass throw I've ever seen in my entire life to make a catch. It's insane, dude. And again, until the next time we see another play. Because I mean, he's just in the second year, so you got to figure there's more to come. There's a lot more football, God willing, for him to be able to play, and that just makes going into the upcoming seasons just that more interesting. Even despite the disappointment of a loss in the playoff game where it looked like the fates were on your side. When you make a play like that, you're like, man, you got to win now.
All right,
and
the pick,
like he was about to save his coach's ass again.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about the coach real quick. My issue in this game. It's okay to kick field goals.
Yes.
And I think this is I guess like it's an NFL.
I think they're trying to get field goals gone with or something because it's getting crazy.
It's okay it's getting to kick ridiculous. Field goals.
It's an epidemic.
It's okay to punt sometimes.
Yeah.
Punting can be a good thing when you're talking about field position.
Especially when you draft them in the 4th round.
Especially when you do that. Field position is a part of the game that I think sometimes with offensive coaches gets forgotten about. You don't have to go for it on 4th down all the time. If you had kicked 2 of those field goals, you could possibly be up. That's 6 points right there. You're not going overtime at that point.
It's a whole different vibe.
Something to think about. Hopefully, Ben Johnson, learns from that. And I'm not saying he should, shy away from 4th downs all the time, but in certain situations, especially in the first drive of the game. Why are you chasing points at that time?
Exactly.
Just take your three.
Exactly.
Take your three.
Exactly.
You're all right. And then the pick, I thought it was a bad play call.
That's where I stand.
I thought it was a bad play call. You have been getting chunk yardage through that entire drive. Just keep going. You only needed about 15 more yards to get in the field goal range, maybe a little more. There was no need to go for the jugular right there. And
impatient.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree.
Go on.
I agree wholeheartedly, because I'm like, even when you see so many different replays, the miscommunication, people like Caleb shouldn't have threw it, no way. You can just tell that that was the play call.
Yeah.
That was the one time he had all the time in the world in the pocket, and we had no check down. We had nobody for him to check the ball down to.
Every route, except for Luther Burden, he did a dig, but that was to keep the corner.
Yeah.
From
going
deeper, right? Everything else was 15 yards plus. That there was no need for that. No need for it.
And everybody was cold. They was cold. They was trying to go home early.
What
they did.
Underrated piece to that last drive was Colston going out.
Yeah, that definitely hurt.
Last drive before overtime.
Not having him.
I personally think if he's on that field, he's definitely not going deep like that. He's going to be the security blanket, as he's shown to be. So I think that played a factor.
Heads up play by Colston on the play that he did get hurt. He went down. He head hit the turf pretty hard. He was dazed, and they knew they didn't have a timeout at that point. So the same thing that would have happened against Green Bay would have happened to them. I don't know. I forget who the player was. Somebody got him up and said, "Go that way." Get to the sideline, because had he been down for another couple seconds, they would have called that, or it would have been. I think it would have been our last time out. I think at that point. So heads up on Colston's part. I know he was concussed, but he got out of there in time. Yeah. What was you guys' initial thoughts as the kick went through the uprights to end that game?
Just what could have been.
We lost this game more so than the Rams winning it.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
That was my thoughts. And
let them off the hook.
and when you like, it legit took me a day to process that shit.
Yeah.
Like, but once you sit back and process it, it's like, who really? For me to say the Bears lost that game more than the Rams won it, who in the hell would have thought we would have been in the divisional game?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the determination of it. Like, we had that game. We had it. And so once I sat back and I'm like, okay, Ben Johnson, I know I gave him a lot of hell this year, like none other. People think I hate the man, and I don't. I just felt he was getting a lot of praise, and people was ignoring his flaws, and that's how us at Chicago get caught up in the sauce. And then when he starts showing this behavior more consistently, then people gonna be like, "What the hell? No, it's been there." so like, hopefully, after year one, he comes back, he makes some adjustments. He which I loved his press conference after the fact, saying like, we're starting at ground zero.
I love what he said about it. Yeah.
I'm excited for next year. And I know we talked about that in the past. And Glenn was one of the main ones saying like how looking forward is so bright, and I'm there. I'm there too. Like I'm excited for the future. I definitely believe Caleb and Ben grows from this. Um, I think in year 2 of this offense, we're gonna see something even more special. I think Ben will ultimately trust in Caleb a little more to be more assertive because what I noticed with Caleb, and it's a good thing because it shows he's coachable. When he does, and sometimes he do leave too early when he thinks pressure is coming, but when he do have pressure, as we saw in that last game, when he do have time, as we saw in that last play, he gonna do what the play is supposed to be, what he's supposed to do. Because he easily could have said, okay, you know what? I got fuck this. I'm gonna just go. They ain't getting open fast enough for me. He sat there and waited. He could, so I'm like, he did what the coach told him to do. So hopefully next year we just get it tighter. And I do believe we will. And I'm amped to see the next throw, as Jim said. Because what this motherfucker gonna do next is beyond me. Because shit, we thought Mahomes was doing certain shit that we had never seen before. Like, this dude is making Mahomes look like that's so retro.
Yeah.
Like,
right. That's so 2018.
Yeah, I went back, man. I had to go back. Once the game ended, I took me a while. I was disappointed, but then I had to think about it. I was like, man, had you told me in week after week 2, when Detroit put that 50 burger on us, that we'd be at this point right here, I wouldn't have believed that, because there was no way the Bears were going to be able to bounce back from what had happened. First, losing the game against Minnesota when you were up big, losing that lead, and then just getting crushed against Detroit at week 2, and hey, kudos to Ben Johnson and the entire team. They believed, and I guess that bought into that good, better, best thing.
See, and I was the first one to say I was pumped for it. You was like, that's bullshit.
Wait,
That's bullshit.
I know I was. I know I was.
The
You know
first
what though?
one.
You know it's funny. Kevin Byard was on somebody's podcast, and they asked him about that. Like, y'all really, y'all were into that right away, and he was like, nah. He said, when he first did it, he was like, I got this thing I want you guys to say. He tried to get them in, and he did good, better, best, and they chanted it, but they were like, what the hell is this? And as it went on, they bought in, and it became the rallying cry.
Man.
So yeah, so it wasn't. I was right. They didn't buy in at first.
Right.
They didn't buy in. They didn't buy in at first. They thought, just like I said, it's some bullshit. What is this?
No, it's not. It's not bull. You may have thought that initially, but it wasn't, because here's
No,
the thing,
I'm
man.
saying they thought that at first. The players did.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying this is why it's not BS. It's because when you think about the words, and you instead of just saying it as a mantra or chant, when you actually think about the words, and then you think about what they would have to do to win some of those games when they, after being the ass whooping they took from Detroit, but then winning the next 4 straight, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then winning the way they had to win them, that's when the buy-in happens, because like with any mantra, it starts becoming self-evident and you start living it. And so you're able to take the application of those words and you see it actualized. And it's like, yeah. And that's where the buy-in comes, but you got to set it. You got to start it. And I'll say this. I remember that the beatdown from Detroit. I don't know if you guys remember. I said that's the best thing that could have happened to this team. because the loss against Minnesota was, you could be like, oh man, we should have won that one. It gives you that false sense that we're better than what we really are. To
Mm-hmm.
come back the next week and get your ass whooped, and for it to beat Detroit was more important because that was a signal to Ben, like, yeah, dog, we ain't covering up. You
You
ain't
got
got
work to
Detroit.
do.
You got work to do, and you can't give an excuse about any of this. Y'all got whooped. Y'all ain't there yet. And so it's like, you know what? It helped with that refocus. Now, of course, you win some games, people don't expect you to win, but you win them and you start building on that. And so for me, like you said, to be at the divisional point, hosting a divisional game and being, a throw or so away from being in the NFC Conference Championship game, and then maybe even arguably a chance at the Super Bowl at that point, the buy-in for me in terms of like, this is a good thing that's happening. This team is, I'm good because I see regardless how the season's going to end, I'm good where they're going. The confident comeback from behind when it was against the Giants, because the Giants probably should have won that game. If Jackson Dart doesn't go down, I don't know that the Bears don't win that game. I don't know if the Bears win that game, excuse me. But the way they confidently, it was like, no, we got this. And the way Caleb, it was so confident. And, it's like, okay. And then the very first Green Bay game, which was a loss, but I'm like, at that point, I'm like, I'm good. You can see where the mental fortitude of this team had progressed and evolved. And you can see where even the defense, I think the defense, personally, this defense played a hell of a season.
Yes, they did.
Because they were not perfect by any stretch of the means, but they were never healthy.
No.
Never. From the jump, you were missing your top two, your top three, your top five defensive backs were gone. And then one was in and out with Brisker.
Well, remember, even preseason, Jalen Johnson was
that's what I'm
out,
saying.
and then he didn't play until week 2.
And then you lose him that game.
And he lost him 3 plays in.
Right. You lose Terrell Smith in the preseason, so, and then you go through a stream where like, okay, this is the guys we're working with. Now all your linebackers are gone.
There was the stretch of games. We didn't have a linebacker.
We didn't have a linebacker. So to me, I'm like, and then
only unit that stayed healthy was our trashest damn unit.
Right. Okay, can somebody please get hurt so we get somebody else in there?
No, Booker wasn't healthy.
That's true. He was in and out. He missed some games. So, and I thought as far as the defense carrying it forward, as battle scarred as they were, in the playoff game against Green Bay, they come back the second half and virtually pitch a shutout for all intents and purposes. And to face McVay, who's like everybody's, he's not a boy genius any longer, but he's that guy that if you're connected to him, you get a head coaching job. To be able to limit them, to just holding them to like 12 points under their scoring average.
I thought Dennis Allen called an excellent game.
Yes.
Against the Rams.
He made one mistake.
He sent
Kyler
Gordon
off of Puka on that 3rd and 8. Third and 8. Yep. Oh, that was the one mistake. But he had been sending Gordon off that slot all day.
Well, here's the deal, man.
That was 3rd and 8 with Puka, right? That's who Matt looking for.
That was the thing. Your front four couldn't get pressure, and they couldn't stop the run. So they had to bring the DBs up. Number one for run to stop the run, but then they also needed them for pass rushing purposes, and they got, I think they just got taxed.
Yeah,
because it was working. They got
taxed too much.
And
but Dennis Allen called an excellent game, which is funny because I wanted his job the first half of the Green Bay
game. I'll tell you this: he had a bad 2 quarters.
Yeah.
And he outcoached the head coach.
Yeah.
That's real. The rest of the way.
That's real.
I mean, I'll fit my last thing about this year's iteration of the Bears, what has me so excited moving forward. And y'all gonna Y'all gonna like this because this is something I've spoke about for years when it came to Chicago. Period.
Ain't got the
We
playbook no
have
more.
we have no. Well, that yeah, we definitely ain't running no universal playbook, but we have personality.
Mhm.
This team had personality that we have lacked across the board with our sports teams, probably since the Cubs won the World Series. Like we have personality. Like even the Nagy Bears didn't have personality. Our quarterback was blah. You know, it was. I mean, you give. I'm just like it was. Like we have
Well,
personality.
we had Club Dub there for a second. That was.
He's talking about a player. That's a group thing.
No, no,
You meant like
I'm
and I
just
love
messing.
and I
I'm
love
just
Club
playing.
Dub. I love
I'm just
Club Dub.
playing.
But that was a team thing to draw us in. But like
Yeah.
this team, like Ben Johnson in the locker room saying "fuck Green Bay" and
Yeah.
like we have this team has personality that we've lacked.
Yeah.
We've lacked, and I've said you gotta have some ignorant shit going on in your locker room to have some type of success. We can't be these good old boys all the damn time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like and we finally got some personality, and so I'm looking forward. I'm so excited because I mean, granted, the Seattle Rams game was high scoring and all that.
We could have beat Seattle.
The NFL world, we could
have beat
the
Seattle.
NFL world missed the Chicago Bears being on TV.
Well, they're missing them now.
they're missing them now.
You go to the Super Bowl, they're saying nobody wants to see this game.
Like the excitement the Bears brought not just to Chicago, but to the NFL.
Right.
No one, no.
Like I'm on Twitter to see how many people have all of a sudden want the Bears to lose, hate the Bears. It's like, damn, y'all hate us? Or waiting on Caleb to do something, pull a rabbit out his ass, and he seemed to always do it. It's like, man, it was the entertainment factor that the Bears brought to these playoffs was a gift. Was a gift.
And by the way, there's nothing worse than Illinois Packer fans. And we were hearing them all week during the divisional week.
Right. Like
nothing worse than that. Later for y'all. And I hope we keep this up.
Like who still got something to say? Like, listen, Caleb has a winning record versus you guys. By the way. So all that y'all beat us stuff, our current quarterback has a winning record.
4-2 against him?
Yeah. 3-2.
3-2.
And he's more accomplished than y'all quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Got a division won a division, and also beat you in the playoffs. And so
I'm mistaken, Jordan Love has not won the NFC North yet, right?
And they both have only one win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This Super Bowl, it's basically the varsity versus JV, right?
Oh, no. Nope.
You don't think so?
I ain't saying it. Nope. I ain't finna fall down that trap. Nope. This shit look too familiar when it comes to the Patriots.
Denver, once again. It's
Sean
okay
Payton
to kick
lost.
field goals.
Yep. Sean Payton lost.
It's okay. And you knew, and here's the thing about that.
With a backup.
You had a backup quarterback. Take your three.
You had the momentum.
Take the 2-possession lead. And you knew weather was coming.
Greedy.
Knew weather was coming.
Wanted to have a 14-point lead instead of a 10-point lead.
And then they couldn't do anything in the driving snow.
They literally, I mean, if you watched that whole game, the Patriots scored 10 of the kind of flukiest points. I mean, you had the
the Patriots had the ball for the entire third quarter.
Yeah, but Drake May was stopped on that 4th and 1. He was stopped on that. Another instance where they should have just kicked him, but they got damn lucky.
Yeah.
And then they end up having to kick anyway. But he was stopped on that 4th and 1. But they said indisputable evidence. So okay. Then they end up being forced to kick one anyway. Cause that could have backfired on them.
Yeah.
So New England goes on. They win the AFC 10-7 over Denver.
But wait
Rams.
a minute. Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
let's touch on this. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Rams
Let's touch on this.
Seahawks.
Cause you said
Really,
something. You said something. Hey
really
man,
good game.
we ain't had no goddamn body that's gonna stop that goddamn JSN. Hey, that
Wait,
mother.
hold on.
Jeez.
We held Adams and Puka to 80 yards.
Hey,
Why not?
hey, man.
Hey, well, now because we've been playing in Seattle, I was gonna say we had weather, but now the game would have been in
No, I
Seattle.
was in Seattle.
You never know.
Seattle tough.
Ah, you never know though. I'm just talking.
Yeah, but see, I said throughout this, I think it was the game Seattle played Washington on a Monday night, and I mean beat the brakes off of them. At that point, I was like, that's the best team in the NFL, like hands down. And I talked to I got some friends out in the Pacific Northwest, and yeah, I told them that, and I was like, y'all got the best team, and they were like, no, it's just one game, trying to
Well, so,
downplay them. Nah, Seattle's the best team in the league right now, and I'm sorry, I don't see New England hanging with them. I don't see it.
I see it hanging with them for a half. I can see something like 17-13 at half. And then I can see a final score of like 38-20 being a final score.
I just got to see the game because at any moment, I mean, he's been playing well. But old Sam Darnold, and quiet as cat, I want him to succeed. I'm rooting for Sam. I am.
Yeah, I am too.
But I'm still holding my breath. Like,
well, that game happened already.
The Vikings got to be kicking themselves, right?
Have to be.
oh yeah,
Have to be. Have to be. But that game you're talking about, Sam Darnold showing up, the pumpkin, the carriage turning into a pumpkin, that happened, but he overcame that. And I think after overcoming that, I think he's past the ghost of his past self. It was against the Rams. It was a Thursday night game, I think it was. And the Rams should have won that game. I think he had like 4 interceptions, like 3 interceptions. It felt like 5. I mean, it seemed like there was like some bad picks, but he came back and won that game. You can tell it was something personal and mental getting over that hurdle, and the team stuck with him. And he's pretty much been set since. I think he's comfortable in his own skin now, man. And I think you're beginning to see the best of him. Like,
hey, but this is like seeing the final boss. You know his career stats versus the Patriots.
No,
dude, that's with the Jets, bro. That's with the Jets.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
too. It's
1
with the Jets.
touchdown, 9 interceptions.
One touchdown and 8 ghosts.
This is like the final boss. Okay. look, I'm sure all type of I can only
PTSD.
imagine. What man, good. I'll say this, good. He got 2 weeks to get rid of if them demons are circling. But he's been playing very well, man. I would hate. Oh man, I will be broken for him if he come out there and lay it. Oh my god.
So you say he got PTSD, Patriots traumatic syndrome, stress disorder, Patriot traumatic stress disorder. That's what he got. He got to get over that.
And the way history with the Patriots is just, this is like the fucking 2001 all over again.
Yeah. But hopefully that's not what we end up with. I hope not. I don't want to see another Patriot dynasty. I don't need that in my life. 2 weeks to that game. Real quick before we get to the national championship game. Shador Sanders making the Pro Bowl as
Man, go
injury
ahead to
replacement.
man, go ahead to the next topic.
You know what
This
that
is
you
some
know what that
bullshit.
means, right?
That means the Pro Bowl ain't shit.
Well, I don't honestly, I don't know why they're doing this.
What that mean? I'm interested to see what you finna say. What that
No,
mean?
it means that everybody else said no.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I saw because I definitely saw somebody post like Trevor Lawrence number. I'm like Trevor Lawrence had to say no.
Yeah,
It's
they said
no
yeah.
way
There's no way. I
they
think
went to Shador.
they went down the list, and I think everybody. I bet you he said no. I bet you Lamar said no.
Well, why say no? Why say no? You don't
Because it's a
play. You
waste.
don't
It's
play
a
the
waste of
game.
time.
You gotta go.
You got to go. If you say yes, you got to go.
That's
But
why.
it's Hawaii, bro.
They're not.
It's not
No, they don't go to
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
They in Santa Clara.
No, they go to yeah.
Oh, my fault.
And they
I'm
doing
dating myself.
flag
And
Well,
football.
they play
They doing
play
flag football and like little.
yeah,
yeah, they play the little
You know what I'm saying?
games.
They don't want to go to it.
you
Yeah.
get paid. It's a little extra money. It's a trip for the
It's not
family
worth
on the
it.
NFL.
It's not worth it.
Trip for the family on the NFL.
It's not worth it.
These mugs who already paid for that
Yeah.
trip,
I'm
think
good.
they can? Or a sponsor them paid for it already or something?
I can go to Cabo by myself on my own dime. I'll be all right. It's
It's a,
not like going it's not like going to Hawaii and actually playing in a game, an actual game. So I bet you everybody said no, and they finally got down the list and like, well, Shador.
I guess if you've been there before, if you've been there, done that, it probably doesn't hold any sway. But you've never been there. I
And like
can't
I,
imagine you
And
saying
for
no.
Shador, it makes sense because you can, it helps build your brand,
Right. Right.
and like I said, I thought it
with
was crazy.
kids.
I thought it was crazy when I saw it until found that Drake May made the Pro Bowl last year.
So yeah, it's not what it man. I miss what the Pro Bowl used to be when it was an actual game, but they messed that up. So it is what it is. Bill Belichick not going to make it to the Hall of Fame when it's on the first ballot. That's messed up.
It's messed up, but it's funny. It's funny.
It's
It couldn't have happened to a nicer curmudgeon. I mean, it's funny.
That's some real hate, man. Real hate.
I mean,
it is.
my thing is this: stand behind it if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Don't be anonymous.
Yeah.
Stand behind it. Because to this day, I still want to know the piece of shit that voted no for Derrick
Jeter
and Ken Griffey Jr. I still want to know who that was. Stand behind it, man. Like that it should be public record. Who say yes, who say no. What if something happened to you after it happened, we gonna know person you vote for had you hit. So it ain't like you gonna be your life threatened. Well, it might. But so
there's nothing crazy out there. I'm with you though. I mean, it isn't like you're voting for something political or something that's going to impact someone's livelihood or their life, so to speak. And I'm with you. You should hold the writers or whoever the voters are accountable as well. Because if you're going to do that, and yeah, I mean, hands down, just even if he never won a Super Bowl, just winning all the games he won,
yeah,
to put you in the Hall of Fame. Not to mention the Super Bowl. Not to mention as a defensive coordinator. He's got 2 Super Bowls under his resume, So, and not to mention that you can't say a Hall of Fame quarterback didn't develop underneath you because Tom Brady was barely drafted. So, and not just a Hall of Fame quarterback, but arguably, in a lot of people's estimation, one of the best to ever play the game. So, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's silly. He will get in, and I maintain that the NFL Hall of Fame ain't like the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in terms of being a first ballot person. There's something prestigious because Baseball Hall of Fame can be a little pretentious, clearly, but there is something to saying to differentiate you from the other Hall of Famers when it comes to baseball. I was a first ballot Hall of Famer. Frank Thomas being a first ballot Hall of Famer, it actually means something to me, in a lot of ways. So it's like, yeah. But he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, there's no doubt. When it comes to football, it's not the same. It's not the same.
I just don't like that. I feel like with all but basketball, the Hall of Fame voters put their personal feelings in the way of the
Yeah,
job.
absolutely.
I hate that. I mean,
They're human.
Well,
I'm about to
football.
take it back. No, they do it.
No. What I'm gonna say is football is even crazy because the way they do it in football. I don't know if for the coaches it's the same way, but for the players, they actually the voters go into a room and they debate it out. But it's a closed door, so nobody knows what's being said in these meetings.
The fact that
So
what completely, I mean, and it could be something before this that you all may know of, but at my time, what completely tainted me with the NFL Hall of Fame was the treatment of T.O.
yeah,
The treatment of T.O. And then for him to only get in because of Moss, basically, because you knew you could not put Moss in on the first ballot, and then T.O. still don't get in.
well
Like, and
he's
Moss had more negative
Field.
off-field things to happen than T.O.
T.O. didn't have anything,
T.O. had
nothing
nothing,
off field.
nothing
I
off
mean,
field.
you had the little dust up in
Philadelphia
Philly,
Eagle.
yeah, but that wasn't like off field trouble. That was a squabble within the organization.
It's
You
just more of
know,
an intention thing.
yeah, um, yeah. He took 3 years. Uh, Chris Carter
Chris Carter.
took a few years to get into the Hall of Fame.
Tim Brown.
Why? Tim Brown? What? Yeah,
Should have been Hall
why?
of Fame sooner.
Yeah, yeah. That
Art, Art Monk. I'm going back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, but to your point, some of these are egregious.
yeah.
You know, the T.O. thing is the most egregious one. I would agree wholeheartedly with that one. What I found funny, and I didn't realize it, that Robert Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, is not in the Hall of Fame. Jerry
Well,
Jones is.
he's up this year.
No, I understand that. That's why I know that he's not in because
Yeah.
he's up this year.
Wait, so how does that work with the owners? He
well,
hasn't been up before.
I don't know like
I
what
don't
the
I don't know if he
I'm just
has.
asking because it said he's up this year.
he's a
Like,
finalist this year, and
He's a finalist.
so
he's a
when did
finalist.
Jerry
Yeah.
Jones get in?
Man, about
So I
five,
assume
six
he
years
was a.
ago.
Well, I assume he was Jerry was the owner before Kraft.
Before
Correct?
Kraft,
Yes.
I think Kraft
Before
bought the Patriots like 2 years before, or 2 years after Jerry bought the Cowboys.
yeah, but he's got way more success than Jerry Jones
But
in
I'm
terms
saying
of Super Bowl.
Yeah.
maybe the time thing is the reasoning.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what the.
There's
Yeah.
no time thing because they're both
Um,
still owners. They haven't stopped being owners.
Look, I'm trying to figure it out. Hey, listen, them now one thing them voters do know. Hey, Jerry put a lot of money in these people's pockets.
But that's what I'm saying. Kraft has too, especially with the TV stuff. Kraft has kind of been instrumental. He's just Kraft is not as bombastic, and I'm sure Jerry's like, hey, you guys should put me in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, listen.
Jerry can talk an Eskimo out of his coat.
Hey, Jerry deserved to be in there before Robert Kraft.
Why? Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. Goddamn, the Cowboys is dog shit, and he got them people relevant all over the world. That's Hall of Fame worthy in itself.
Every year, they still
Them
talk about the Cowboys every day.
Every day.
And they're terrible.
Every day.
30 years since they
that man needs to be in the Hall of Fame of whatever marketing Hall of Fame they might have that ain't associated with the NFL. Dude is a marketing genius because they are talked about all the time.
ad nauseum. Yes.
I love the documentary on Netflix.
I didn't finish it. I gotta watch. I didn't finish it.
Gotta watch.
One of the best ones.
Yeah,
that was
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. While we were gone, the national championship for the college football playoff took place, and I thought it was going to be a blowout, just like I think the Super Bowl will be. But Miami kept it close. Miami kept it close, and
had a chance to win it. Keeping it close, they had a chance to win it.
Yeah. And Indiana came out on top though, 27-21. Shout out, by the way, because I'm a Kenwood Bronco. Marquise
Marquise
Lightfoot
Lightfoot.
had a decent game
He did.
against Indiana,
Hey,
Kenwood
matter of fact,
Bronco.
damn, I don't
I
know where
saw
it's
I
at.
saw I saw him on. I was like, man, okay,
So I don't know if I can find it. So I have a picture.
yeah.
When I worked at Washington Park. At the Washington Park Redskins, Marquise Lightfoot is in the picture, number 44, little young pup.
Are
Yeah,
they still? Wait, are they still the Redskins?
yes.
So
They attempted to change, but
quick,
they
quick.
attempted. So before I left, they attempted to make us change it, and we went. We did go just as the Washington Park football team,
Quick story. I
and
think I was
I
in
think they
fourth.
got it back now though.
I was in fourth grade, and I told my dad I wanted to play football. So he had to work, but he had my grandfather who was a part of a group at Washington Park. Had my grandfather take me up to the practice for the Washington Park Redskins,
Mhm.
and I watched practice. And they said, "Well, yeah, we'd love to have him," but I was a little chunky kid. I was overweight. So they said, "Yeah, you can join the team, but you won't be able to play. But
Drop that weight.
you can drop all the weight." I was like, "Yeah, that's not gonna happen." I said, "Yeah,
Yeah, so
we can wait for football."
my last year there,
It's funny.
Marquise missed weight
Yeah,
because he grew like. So we always had kids who got a little fat and had to run off that weight.
yeah.
Marquise came back the next year, taller and just bigger. It
Well,
wasn't
he not.
fat.
Yeah, he's not a. Yeah,
It
he's
wasn't
not.
fat.
There's
So
no
it was
fat on
like
his body at all.
me and
I
the coach
remember
was
him in high
talking.
school.
He told Marquise, he said, "Yeah, man, it's over with. You don't. I'm not even gonna make. You're not gonna run off nothing." Like
Oh man, but I'll never forget that. Yeah, you could take the weight off. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I can wait. But no, shout out to him, Kenwood Bronco. That's good stuff, man. Getting some playing time and played a good game. Indiana,
Greatest college
16
football
and 0.
story.
Okay, it's the greatest.
greatest
I think it's the greatest
Greatest
turnaround,
history.
greatest
Hands,
in
turnaround in
history.
sports history.
In history.
hands down. And I thought the Northwestern turnaround back in '95 was special. And it was. This
Not like
trumps
this.
that. No, I'm saying this trumps that by tenfold.
Yeah, yeah. Not like
It's
this.
And
because
go ahead.
I was just going to say, because last year's Indiana team was a really good story. Didn't see that coming. But you figure, like, that's just a one off. Yeah, nice story. We'll never see these guys again. They come back the following year and then you don't lose a game.
Yeah.
And then you get
Well,
better.
the way you do it.
Right. And then you get better and you're beating the teams who are better more than you did during the regular season. I mean, you beat Oregon twice and you beat the crap dog snot out of them the second time
Yeah.
around. Beat the
Yeah.
dog and embarrass Alabama. I mean,
We had to beat
man,
Ohio State,
Ohio State,
Alabama,
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 Oregon,
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 Miami.
and Miami.
and didn't win a national championship.
Those are
That's crazy.
You beat four brands.
first off 4 brands and three original college football powerhouse.
Yeah.
That's
You
crazy.
beat Nike, Adidas. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, you beat you beat
No, they Adidas.
No,
so
he
they
did.
won.
Yeah.
you beat all those brands and did it with players that were not household names.
Mhm.
And outside of the quarterback, probably for most people, still aren't household names. They might have 2 first rounders on it. Might have 2 first rounders come off that team. Might. And that's the quarterback. He'll probably be the first pick in the draft. No worse than third pick in the draft. And maybe the cornerback Pounds might go late first round. I don't think anybody else. Kamara, it all depends. He could be late first round. I think second, To me, he's a mid second, third rounder, and I think Aiden Fisher might go in the third or fourth round. Outside of that, bro, I, good. There'll be some more draft picks, but in a sport like college football, where in order to have 4 stars and 5 stars, you do what you can to 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 create enough of that talent to be on your team. And then with the transfer portal, you're just trying to get other players who might have been 4 stars somewhere else or have the, experience. With all that being said, for him to have a team that didn't basically had like less than 10 of those types of players on the squad, that's a crazy. It doesn't make any sense. You look at Alabama, they got guys who didn't even play who are 4 or 5 star guys. But all the schools we mentioned are like too deep. Ohio State, I mean, there's probably like 8 first rounders this year, maybe off that squad, and then next year they're gonna have some more first round. I mean, they got a wide receiver who will be a top 3 pick next year, or 2027. So it's like you're beating crazy talented teams and you beating the crap out of them. That's amazing, man. That was amazing.
My thing is now you starting to hear all the age and the NIL and the transfer portal. First off, Mark Cuban said himself, he hasn't even been heavily involved yet with the program. He said it's going to happen. So like people all of a sudden now want to try to discredit Cignetti.
Wait, he hasn't given. I thought he gave him a bunch of money.
He said he's done some things, but he ain't. But he ain't.
But not what he's about to do.
But he ain't done some things.
Okay.
Like and people trying to give all these excuses as to how easy it is for what's Cignetti. It wasn't easy. Because all y'all talked about on TV and in the media was cachet and how you can sell something. Because what Cignetti did is what the world expected Deion to do. And I damn sure believe you would expect him to do it at Colorado over somebody at damn Indiana. Like, man, look, what they did is the greatest turnaround in sports history.
Hands down.
It's hands down. Like no one in their right mind would have thought Indiana football would be a national champion.
Oh.
It's a reason why they won all them games when they played Ohio State. They were the underdog in that game. When they played Alabama, they were the favorite along in the spread, but to the world, they were the underdog. When they played Oregon, they were the favorite on the spread, but to the people, man, they ain't gonna be able to do that to them a second time.
Right.
Beat their ass. Then all of a sudden, now everybody believes in Miami. Like, now granted, Miami turned it on. They did. But no one cared about Miami until they was playing goddamn. I can tell you, no one picked Miami and not a single game they played until they play in Indiana.
Yeah. Right.
Like, all because they didn't truly believe in what Indiana was doing. Like, nothing short of amazing. Like, dude can. I damn never tired me. But
right. Will it ever get better than your first national championship undefeated season? Like, where else is there to go but another undefeated season?
Man,
I mean, that's
and what you did, like what you did at a program with no history, with zero history.
Antoine Randolph.
Like,
no, that's serious. That's
that's it.
That's all that was there.
Like, no
Lee
history.
Lee Corso.
The
running back.
His name? Anthony Thompson.
Anthony Thompson.
That's it.
And Lee Corso.
But he didn't really. I mean, they didn't really do much when.
Corso no, he's just a personality. No, it's just a personality.
Yeah. That's the extent of Indiana football.
Right.
The losingest program of all time in FBS.
Like, bro, they have no history, bro. If Kurt Cignetti let's say we had us. Let's say we had us a Blackbird, and he went to Grambling and did that. You would believe it more than you believed him doing what he did in Indiana, because Grambling has history. That's all. Because Grambling has a history.
Oh, that's funny.
Indiana has no history in football. None. No. And he went and did this in 2 years.
Adewale Agulia.
Man,
that's right. He was a Hoosier.
Hey, man, look. Grambling
Wale
was
Everybody
got pros. Everybody got pros. Ask how you say Agulia? Ask him how many losses he had in his career.
Average double-digit loss.
What? Right. Like, man.
So the average age for Indiana, 23 years old. All right. Is that going to be sustainable coming up here in the next few years? Because I assume that part of that is the last of the COVID guys being that you can stay in school that long. Right.
I think people are overstating that, because keep in mind, Carson Beck was like 75 years old himself. You know,
Carson Beck is a two-time national champion and a two-time starter at Georgia. Like,
he was
Carson Beck was old.
Yeah, he was older too. And I think what Apples doesn't get completely lost, but Sengeti brought a lot of people, his core group of guys that are instrumental in his Indiana success. He brought over from James Madison.
Right.
So I think that has a lot more to do with the sustainability over the last 2 years and the buy-in and so on and so forth, and just the players, you know, just being able to be as good as they were, as tight as they were, so on and so forth. We might see a similar story in a way, but it's a football power when we see the new coach at Penn State, because he's bringing, I think he's bringing maybe 20 players from Iowa State with him over to the Nittany Lions. And so that turnaround might be a little more quickly realized than some people may expect, to where maybe Penn State could be that quiet team in the Big Ten that, you know, maybe is in the picture when it comes to Big Ten championship and maybe making the playoffs. Remains to be seen. There's a lot that has to happen, but I think that's the key, or that's the thing that you're going to see maybe replicate itself. Because what's his name is doing that. I think he may be bringing some guys. I don't know how many guys, but James Franklin or Virginia Tech,
from Penn State to
Virginia Tech, yeah. And so that's kind of thing. Like it's almost like when it comes to social media, it's like how many likes you got, how many follows you got. Mm-hmm. You know, they're gonna ask these coaches how many followers, how many followers you go, how many people you bring in with you. Your hireability may depend upon can you bring a convincing us guys. We see the same thing with I don't know how many guys from James Madison are leaving with the coach that now took the job at UCLA, but it might be something similar to that as well. So I think that's the trend if you want to say going forward.
And my thing is what I'm not liking is now, like, that coaching matters, man, in football. Yes. It matters. And to try to paint this narrative that now all of a sudden, because he got these older guys who no one wanted and dominated, oh, they're so much physically stronger than these other kids. They meant, like, come on, man. No offense, GM, and GM is agreeing to this. The GM is an SEC guy. That was always the known thing with them, right? They were more physical than everybody, they were more athletic than everybody. Like, come on, man. It's just like, just get a man his credit. Just get a man his credit. He had buy-in to what he was bringing out there, and those guys executed. It has nothing to do with age.
No,
it has everything to do with the system that he put forward. And that's why it's going to be hard to be replicated. And that's what we're going to see because people going to try to do it, but it's going to be hard to be replicated because a lot of y'all just not as good of a coach as he is.
And if you don't believe that, just Google him. He told you so himself.
Google.
He wins.
Google. Hey, let's go to picks real quick before we get out of here. So we got to go back to the divisional round. I had an awful week. I went 0-3.
What? No, not you.
I did. I took Indiana minus the 8.5. That didn't go too well for me. I took the Rams minus the 3.5, but for a reason. So I guess
know why you did that.
Yeah. Technically, the Bears did cover. And,
Wait, you said Indiana minus 8.5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indiana. For some reason I'm thinking Miami. Okay, my bad.
No. I took Indiana. You guys were the smart ones. And then I took the 49ers plus the 7.5. That definitely didn't go well because they got stomped against Seattle. So I went 0-3. Smoke, you went 2-1 for the week. You had Miami over Indiana plus the 8.5. You had the Broncos plus the 1.5. And they beat the Bills, in Denver. And you had the 49ers plus the 7.5. Yeah, so you went 2-1. Glenn, you went 1-2.
Insane.
Your win was you took Miami plus the 8.5. You took the under in the Bills Broncos game. That went way over. It was 66 was their number, and you took the 49ers plus the 7.5. We all took the 49ers that week.
Damn.
All right. So
I think you misheard me. I'm pretty sure I picked Seattle.
No, I don't think so, bro. So let's see. I am now 20-19.
5 games under 500.
Smoke, you're in second now with 18-21. And Glenn, you are in third at 17-22. I guess we
sad.
Take the week off here. And then
just do the Super Bowl.
Do the Super Bowl now?
Just do it now.
Oh.
All right,
no, I think you're right. We got to take a week because injuries can happen that can change the line and everything.
All right.
Sickness, injuries.
Well, let's talk
somebody
about
do
this.
Something stupid.
Let's add some extras just so it's not just the spread. What if we
some prop bets? Yeah, that's what you're telling me.
Let's think about some props for next week to put down. All right.
Taylor Swift. I think they won't show her at all.
I don't think she'll be at the game. No, don't expect that. Don't expect that this year for a
How
change.
many times will they show Cardi B?
Oh, that's right. That's right. She was in Denver.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll think about that for next week. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. We want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can catch our podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. By the way, I found out last week that Google no longer does podcasts. They don't stream podcasts anymore. So I've been lying to y'all about going to Google to check out podcasts.
Maybe we can get on Netflix. Look, Netflix is starting to show a lot of.
I saw that, man. They got. I was a little disappointed because Michael Irvin and Brandon Marshall got a podcast out called The White House, and I thought it was going to be about the White House.
The White House, right?
Yeah, I thought he was going to tell some stories, and it's just another podcast. Never mind. I wanted some White House stories.
So you got them on there. You got Rich Paul and
Max
Kellerman.
That was I actually watched. I watched one of their episodes. He talked about Mike and the Air Jordan phenomenon.
People wearing Michael Jordans. I say the fact that he called them Michael Jordans is crazy.
And by the way, he admitted that he wears New Balance. Rich Paul did. He doesn't even wear Nikes anymore. And then the Ringer, their podcasts are on Netflix now.
The Smoking Van podcasting.
Who's that?
Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Aren't they on Netflix?
They on Showtime.
Oh, they're on Showtime. Okay.
Yeah. What's the name is on Showtime?
Smoke. All the smoke.
All the smoke.
Yeah, we need to holler at Netflix then. See if we can get a deal or something like that. I wouldn't mind that. So yeah, you can catch us at those places. You can also catch us at YouTube. Search for HP53 Productions, and you'll find our podcast and the Super Duper podcast hosted by Rob Griggs. I almost forgot that. Yeah, that's it. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, like I always say here at Easy Smoking the Gym podcast, we ain't saying we right. We just bear down. That's what we do here. We bear down all the time.
That's right. I'm pumped up. I can't wait till next season.